Hi guys, Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto, and now we're looking at an EF2 Honda Civic. 4 doors, very 80s, and this one here is a 1.5 automatic transmission, 16 valve. Now, that's a little bit strange. Usually what you would have is a twin cam 16 valve engine. This is a single cam that uses rockers to push your 16 valves. Very similar to the CRX engine that they had in Canada and the USA. This is a D15B engine, whereas the D16 was the CRX's basic 108 horsepower in the USA. The car is completely and utterly stock, has low mileage, and is in generally good condition other than a dirty engine bay and some dents and whatnot on the body. There isn't a lot to say about the engine. I don't know if it's carbureted, but I believe that this year is a throttle body injection, which is sort of halfway between fuel injection and carbureted. You can see it's got the old style air filter on the top. It's downdraft into a side intake on that side, and then exhaust on the front here. Coolant looks fine, oil looks fine, looks like it's been repaired regularly. The battery was replaced in 2014 here. Doesn't have 100,000 kilometers yet, so no timing belt has been changed. So that might be something you want to do quickly. But lucky for you, Hondas are really easy to work on. So close that up. We'll take a quick look at the body here, and then we'll look at the auction sheet, and then the rest of the body. It looks dark today. I don't know why, but white cars make the camera think that it should make everything look darker. Okay, so let's take a look at the auction sheet. It's a 1991. This one's going to the USA, and it's a Civic 35M is the style. I don't really know what that means, because generally I only really know anything about the sports car versions of the cars. And this one's just your regular commuter car version. This is an auction grade R because it's been in an accident in the rear. Interior is C, original white, and 83,089 kilometers, so quite low mileage in this one. Automatic transmission, it says EF2 here because everyone loves the EF2 body style, and they have become ridiculously expensive, especially if you're looking at the SIR version of the car. It's got the old classic looks, very, very lightweight body, and you can put anything from like a B16A to a B18 engine into it very easily, because it's standard B series. And so they can become very quick cars. The B18 is the Integra Type R engine, and so you can throw them into here. Transmissions are generally pretty easy to find. Engine swaps are pretty easy, whatnot, and that, excuse me. So 83,000 kilometers on here, 3-owner car, and interestingly they showed you the years that the owners owned this. So the first owner was from 1991 to 1996, and then 1996 until 2014, and then 2014 until now. Rear accident there. The back panel has been replaced, and paint work was done on the back and right here on the left-hand side. Sorry, right-hand side. Interior is dirty and has animal hair. Now I'll show you the interior later, and you can tell me if you can find any animal hair, because I can't find very much. And interestingly, when I sold my car once, my cat had never been in my car, and yet I got that on my personal car when I sent it to auction. Seat stain, it's a very mild one on the passenger side seat. Wheel caps and door mirrors are scratched. Actually, the door mirrors are heavily scratched. Both sides are kind of like that. Now the car's on the stock 13-inch wheels, and it's funny to think that 13-inch wheels existed at one time. I can't think of any cars now that have 13-inch wheels on them anymore, but if I'm wrong about that, let me know, because I'd want to know. Tires on the front are 2003s and almost dead. Tires on the back are 2007s and have plenty of life left on them. They're a different brand, but the size is the same, 175, 70, 13. Back to the auction sheet here. And I will go once around the car after this. Rear floor is dented. That would be residual damage from the accident. Small scratches, small dents. Large scratches on the front bumper. U2 dents here and here. U2 dent here. Mosquito. Sorry, your auction sheet got dirty. My hands are very dirty because we were just working on a Subaru before this. U3 dent here and U2 dent here. I'll show you both side panels here, but I do have the other video specifically showing these in more detail if you wanted to see. And so U2's back door here is where you're looking. And and then the U3 is right here. Okay, and the front door on the other side, right near the door handle. Okay, and we have a crack on the windshield that is right here. And this is very typical of the size of the crack on the windshield when it says windshield is cracked. Okay, and the U2 is actually a little bit bigger than I expected here. I just want to quickly mention about the oddity that the engine is with a single cam running 16 valves. Usually twin cams are 16 valves for a 4-cylinder, and that's very normal for the car. The Lancia Delta, however, has twin cams with 8 valves, or at least the 8-valve version of it, because you can get in an 8-valve and 16-valve. And so it's really weird to see the valve covers on that, especially for the first time, when you're like, wow, the 8 valve should have, you know, a smaller head on the top than the 16 valve does. And I love the look of classic engines that have the extremely wide head, because if you look at modern engines, especially like, for example, the S2000's engine, which is a FC2, I think? I don't know. Need some coffee before I can think about chassis numbers and engine numbers. But the S2000 engine is a very high producing twin cam 16 valve engine, and yet the top of the engine is very skinny compared to the older engines that used to be flat and very wide. And that used to be a Toyota thing. For example, the wide heads would be the high performing ones and the narrow heads would be the low performing ones. Anyways, not talking enough about Hondas. Let's take a look at the A3 scratches that were on the front bumper. They've been touched up with touch-up paint. You can see there. Now, this one is a JDM version of the car. It's being shipped off to the USA, and so that's really neat to have a JDM car in the USA, especially for people who know the differences. And I'm going to be completely honest here, I don't know these cars that well and what's different between the US ones and the Canadian ones. I know one thing for sure is these headlights in the US have the marker light is separate from the rest of the lenses, and so people in Canada used to be very excited about getting the lights for this, and the Integra was the same way, the second gen Integra. Okay, it's got clear markers, which are Honda items. Hood is in good shape, roof is in good shape. The interior is quite lovely. It has door visors straight from the factory. They are a little bit cloudy and both sides are cracked here, but they say Civic, and that's cool. The rear ones used to be here, but they've been taken off. You can still see the hardware that was on them. Okay, so power windows on this. Lock shimasho. Let's lock the car, same as on the CRX. This is actually the first EF2 that we've bought. They have just been going up in price so much that very few people have been wanting to buy them. And so, you know, I think for the mileage and the condition of this car, it's pretty good value. But if you're looking for the ones with the V16 engines, that's it's going to cost you an arm and a leg and a nose and an ear. Standard steering wheel. Standard librarian seats, a little bit of sag or loose fabric here, but not too bad. No rips or anything. Gauges here, 83, 122 kilometers as of now. Smells nice in the car. Cigarettes have been smoked in the car. You can see some small ash remnants in there. This, I don't know, maybe used once? It is a little bit corroded, but the fins look to be clean. Tape deck, AC. Let's just turn that AC on. AC works. We're actually going to do the two videos together here because it's been a while since I've done a report now that Paul's working. I forgot to do the interior car. So this is what's usually reserved for a second video is we sit in the car and first thing we put the AC on, then we check all the power windows, which we're going to do now. And the left side one's making a little bit of noise, but it's functional. The windows go all the way down, and that's lucky because you don't have any window that's sticking up. For example, what I mean is with some cars this goes down to only about here, and then you can't rest your elbow on the window. Power steering. Now the power steering feels good, but you may want to check with the suspension, because when I drove it up the street, turned it around and came back, the steering felt a little bit strange when you were at full lock. So something to check there. The brakes feel okay. Shifter. Shifting is good. When you shift into reverse, the RPM drops, and that causes the engine to be a little bit rougher. Shift into park, and that goes back up, and it's smooth. And you get that lovely dinging sound that Japanese cars have. AC is nice and strong. Inside of the car smells like probably a woman driver. Here's the stain on the seat. I don't know. Is that going to get me in trouble by saying that women cars smell better? I don't know. I'm a man. I'm dirty. Especially today. Got a little air purifier back there. Maybe that's why it smells good. Headliner has some scratches in the ceiling in the back. Not scratches, wrinkles. Weird. Okay, engine rev. Seems happy. This one here is airbag. See? Not airbag. Ah! I even said that correctly in the last video where I mentioned that one. The video I took just like 5 minutes ago. I said that's the e-brake one. Now I say airbag when I mean e-brake. It makes me look like an idiot. Okay, anyways, that's the rest of the interior has been checked, so let's go out of the car. Show you the trunk. Pop. And trunk is quite large for the size of the vehicle. Trunk liner is in good shape. Underneath has mini spare tire. And it said that the floor was dented. A lot of times when it says something like that though, it's not really easy to see exactly what they mean. So pop that back into place.
Do you think you could fit a whole Paul in there?
You want to go sit in there, Paul? I want to see if you fit.
It's Greg's car, right?
Yeah, do it.
I think he would appreciate it.
Can we close the trunk?
Yeah, I'm not claustrophobic.
It's
Greg.
Why are you smiling so much, Andrew?
Greg.
Alright, Paul wants to go hide in the car.
Greg's favorite quote. Greg, I'm sorry, but we have to do this.
Watch him break the suspension.
No, the board. I want to break the car board.
Okay, then I recommend don't do that.
I recommend I'm not gonna.
But if you want to go into the trunk, I'm sure we can find one that is suitable for you.
Paige is like cheating.
I bet you and Andrew can both go in the stage at the same time. You might have to lay on each other.
I forgot, it's got the lightweight car, but I'll break it.
Okay, don't break our cars. It's a company policy. Okay, so that's going to be the end of the walk around. You got a little cameo from Paul there, and Andrew was just behind us. They were actually shooting another video for the channel. They're doing something special. And so if you want to see that, make sure that you subscribe. If you've made it this far into the video, probably you already are a subscriber anyway, so it's needless for me to ask for that kind of thing. But anyway, that's going to be the end of the video here. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, as always, post them in the comments. We get back to them whenever we can. If you have something important though, like you want to set up an account, don't post that in the comments. Send us an email directly. The link to our website is right on the webpage, and in the description of this video, pardon me, you can find our webpage. Our webpage has all of our contact information on it. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.